Hello, everyone, and welcome to my sixth episode of my Sagamore Adventures. Sixth episode, which is about 6 weeks, and time is moving quite along, actually. A month and a half in, I thought it would take a little longer to get here, but we're doing pretty good. And usually, when you get to a new vessel, I always say the first 2 weeks are the hardest, and the last 2 weeks are the longest, primarily because you gotta familiarize yourself with the vessel and all your responsibilities and your station and billet numbers, but also the last 2 weeks because you want to go home. And we would always do a countdown, and to make the countdown seem quicker, we would always say 12 and a wake up. Usually when we wake up, we just grab our bags, we get our discharge, and we go. So let's take a look at this week's weekly lottery ticket, shall we? Have some fun. Alright, here we are. So I got my coin ready to go and our lottery ticket. We are at number 24, moving right along. The TV show 24 was actually pretty good up until about season 6, and it just dropped in quality. So we'll just go ahead and do the bonuses, start out like usual. Still holding out. I think we will win on a one bonus. Could it be today? $500 would be nice. No, it doesn't look like it. So let's head downstairs and see what we got for this week. Hopefully one that's not too teasing. We got the number 1. Could have used that last week, right? And we also have the number 70. I believe that's the min and max numbers for this range that you can get. So let's see. Nope. A 19 and a 49. 42, huh? Close to 41. 19. Oh no, that's 14. For a second I thought could have had it, could have broke our losing streak. And then 24, just like the ticket number. 24, the first season is watchable. I rarely watch it again, like maybe once or twice in a blue moon, which is a good beer, by the way. And season 2 was really good, but it left something a little to be desired towards the end. Now season 3 was really good. It's just a shame that the bad guy kind of cracked too easily at the end, but it is what it is. But please, if you watch 24, please do not, I repeat, do not watch season 4. You can completely skip it and you will be doing yourself a huge favor. It was just so terrible. I don't even want to think about it. But season 5 was the best. Out of all the seasons, season 5 was the best. Highly recommend watching that one. But season 6 is when it started to drop off and it never recovered, unfortunately. So I wouldn't watch past season 5. Maybe the first few episodes of season 6, just so you see what happened to the last character. Alright, nothing yet, but still got a lot of playing field to go. So let's see. 27. Oh, we had 37 and 26. Close. 63. No, 61. Nope. 29. Not quite. 3. No, nope. 7. Nope. Oh, we're getting the wrong single digit. 46. Nope. 67. Nope. Niner. 8. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right there. And that Tetris block. 39. Nope. Well, we had a 29, 39, and we had 19, 49, and also 9. 43, nope, nothing yet. We're almost down to our last line. Let's see. 23, no. 30, nope, not quite. 40, it equals 70. That should count. 47, nope. I think we're coming down to the wire. 68, all right, so time for the clutch corner. Let's see. 500, I'll take it. Come on. Truly unlucky. Well, gave it another shot. We're 3 and bust, so better luck next week. All right, so we have a special shout out for today, so let's get right into it, shall we? Okay, hello. Today is July 3rd, and today is a very special day. It is my mom's birthday. Yes, my mom's name is Donna, and happy birthday, Mom. Your birthday gift should be waking you up at about 5 a.m. for a fancy birthday feast. That's our fat orange and white cat named Sig. Yes, she's a snugglebug, but she's also a big eater, and she loves her fancy feast. You do not want to be late with her breakfast. But also for July 3rd, a good friend of mine, Danielle, that I keep in touch with on Facebook every once in a while, her birthday is also July 3rd, so happy birthday to you, Danielle, my old traveling buddy. I hope all is well with you. And speaking of birthdays, it'll be my mom's 60th birthday today. And it was actually 60 years prior to my birthday that Queen Elizabeth was born, which means, yes, I was born on the same day as Queen Elizabeth, 60 years to the day. And I remember when I was about to turn 30, my mom told me it's a milestone, and I guess in her quirky, foolish, fun way, she said, "You only turn 31. And you just got to think about the foolishness of that statement. It's like, I'm pretty sure you turn any age only once. Of course, she just laughed at it later when I mentioned that to her. But now that she's 60, she is technically 30 twice. So she got herself a double milestone. And I had a double milestone myself when I was 30, because that was also the day that I closed on my house in North Carolina. So I bought my first house. I had my 30th birthday. It all worked out. So there you go. I'm actually getting low on snacks while we sit here waiting to pull into Houston. But fortunately, I was able to get a shipping address to the ship, and my mom's sending me a nice care package full of goodies and comfort food while I do my tour on this ship. Of course, getting the ship address from the captain made it sound like I was going to bankrupt the ship, but I got it, and I'll be able to store up on snacks for our trip down south. So I'm here in my room, and you notice that I try to keep it well maintained, but the fact is I tend to clean up for these videos. Tomorrow, if you saw this room, it would be a disaster. I just let everything go. I don't make my bed. I don't do my laundry, or I leave my laundry all over the floor or the table or the sofa. You probably saw my desk. It's got a bunch of stuff. There's actually a lot more that's usually all over my desk than what you see and what you saw. And yeah, everything is just a disaster. But when I was in college, someone told me that the best stress relief that you can have in college, on the job, or where you live, is just to let your room go. Just don't worry about making the bed. Just do your laundry and throw it on the couch or the bed or wherever. Or don't even bother folding it. Take out your trash every once in a while. You don't have to take it out every day. And just relax. And it's absolutely true. But that's not something you want to tell the freshmen at my college, because we have to do room inspections every day. and we have to clean the room every single day. So that was not the right advice to give to freshmen or sophomores, but for juniors and seniors, absolutely, because they were never inspected, or they're inspected like once a month for the juniors, and then the seniors, they're the ones who do the inspections, so they never get inspected. But speaking of rooms for college, I remember my junior year, I felt like I hit the jackpot. And what happened was, before the beginning of your junior year, you could actually speak with who you want to have as a roommate. And if you're both in agreement, you can go to the housing office and sign up to be roommates. And then the housing office will assign you a room with both of you as roommates. And that year, there was an odd number of students becoming juniors, and guess who was the odd one out? That's not to say that I didn't have any friends in college. It's just by the time I asked people, they had already selected someone, and they wanted to honor that, and I respected that. Maybe I was just late with asking others if they wanted to be my roommate, but it worked out because I got a room all to myself, and it was amazing. All rooms are suited for two people, two roommates, so I had double the size of what I was expecting to have for a room. And my grades actually went up a lot more that year because I had the room all to myself. I was able to study. I was able to relax and just let the whole room go. I had double the space and size that I was going to have going into the year. And basically got to do whatever I want in the room. I got to watch movies and play music without wearing headphones. It was great. The only downfall to that, unfortunately, was that my neighbors were very noisy, especially at night. And it got to the point where I had to complain to the RA, which fell on deaf ears because the RAs didn't do anything. And that annoyed me because there were lots of times when I needed to sleep for a test or exam the next day, or I was up late trying to study or work on a project, and the neighbors next door, I told them, could you please be quiet or turn the music down, and they never would, and the RA never did anything. So some days and even some weeks were pretty tough. I mean, I even came this close to calling the police. It was that bad one night, but I bit my tongue and I just got through it, and eventually the next semester came. I went to a different room. I had a new roommate, and I just continued with my college career. But I remember that semester, and as much as it was fun to have my own room, dealing with that noisy neighbor was unfortunate. But tomorrow's the 4th of July. While everyone back home is going to be enjoying a barbecue and fireworks and copious amounts of alcohol, I'm going to be here waiting outside of Houston, and probably in the bilges, cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. I did all that for the last month of my last trip, and I come back for this trip, and a lot of the bilges, unfortunately, either looked just as bad as when I first found them, or they got worse. So it's like all my efforts just got swept away. But it is what it is. But why be anywhere else, right? You can be here on the Sagamore cleaning bilges on the 4th of July versus people who are out barbecuing, going swimming, having fun. The real action's here. But I remember when I was with MSC, and I was on the ship over in Italy for 2 years, and for the 4th of July, they had what they call a steel beach, and basically the entire main deck was steel, on the helipad, and they set up a whole bunch of barbecues, and they served a whole bunch of different food. They had cold soda, desserts, appetizers, steak, chicken, hot dogs, hamburgers, the whole spiel, all the great American favorites, and it was a good time. And I hope that they do something similar on this ship, but they'll probably just have hamburgers and hot dogs for lunch and then a regular dinner menu, so I'm not holding my breath. But anyway, how about a sea story? Hopefully one that is shocking as last week's sea story, but in a different way. This actually happened to me on my very first ship. right out of college. I got hired by MSC, and after a quick 2 week training program, they put me on a 14-hour flight to Japan, and then an 8-hour layover, and then a 3-hour flight to Guam, where I met up with my ship. And when I got on board, the captain met me, and I also met my chief engineer for the next 4 months. And they showed me around. They did familiarization, and the captain was a really by the books, really strict kind of guy. And he had, one rule, that for breakfast and dinner for everybody, we were to be in some sort of uniform or just be, wear clean clothes, for the engineers, really, because also during lunch, we were allowed to remain in our boiler suits because it would take too long to get changed. But for dinner, we had to be like in a uniform, and especially for the Navy personnel that were on board. So, but if the captain wasn't in the mess deck, you could wear whatever you wanted. I've seen people go to the mess deck in their pajamas and eat. It was a risk, but they probably knew ahead of time 100% that the captain wasn't going to be there. Probably because maybe he was off the ship at the time, or he was in a meeting that would run late, or who knows. But yeah, you could wear anything you wanted to the mess deck as long as the captain wasn't there. But there was one lieutenant who came back to the ship after a vacation, and he was just in his casual clothes, and he decides to go to the mess deck for dinner. And he grabs his food and sits down, and then the captain walks in, grabs his food and sits down, and sees the lieutenant in his casual clothes, and says, "You take those clothes off right now," screaming at him. And very poor choice of words, because, I know we all thought, in the sense of the word that he said, he meant for the lieutenant to go to his room, change, and come back and eat. But following his words to a T, the lieutenant said, without missing a beat, "You're the captain," and he stood up right then and there and took off his shirt and dropped his pants, bearing all, and then sat down and finished his meal. And all of us were there, and we were just in shock. Our jaws hit the deck. We were suppressing laughter. We were looking away, and the captain just stormed right out of the mess deck. And it goes without saying that the lieutenant was dismissed from the ship the next day. You never forget moments like that. But yeah, kind of shocking and funny too. And I was in the engine room today, just on coffee break, talking to the chief, and I learned that this ship was actually one of the first ships behind the Evergreen last year. I think it was last year, when it got stuck in the Suez Canal. Like it was one of the top three ready to go through the Suez Canal right after the Evergreen, before it got stuck. And I think it was stuck for around 10 days, which was pretty shocking. And when I heard the news, I read the articles about it every day. I was really hoping that it would get unstuck really soon. And I think I read somewhere that it was costing the global economy $400 million an hour that ship was stuck in the Suez Canal. And I just thought that was insane. And I'm so glad I was not on that ship, the Evergreen, that got stuck. And I'm glad I wasn't on the Sagamore at that time, being told that we were ready to go through the Suez Canal, and then we had to stop and wait upwards of 10 days because the ship got stuck. And the chief engineer that's on board now was on that ship when that happened, and that must have been absolutely miserable, because when you're just sitting there, you're not making any water, and because you need the heat from the engine to make water from our evaporators. And I don't know how much water they had then, but to sit there for 10 days, unless they got underway just for the purpose of making water, they probably would have had to go to like water restrictions. And I've been on ships where that has happened before, and it is absolutely miserable. So you definitely don't want to do that. But I can't imagine like being an engineer or a mate on the Evergreen when that happened, because we just knew the implications were going to be crazy at the first port that we get to. The Coast Guard and other authorities are probably just waiting for them to do their investigation and reports, and possibly reprimands or punishments even. I don't know the full outcome of that, but you know, things are good now, I guess. But we're still kind of backed up here in Houston, so we're still waiting to come in. Uh, so I remember talking with someone over the phone, and they had mentioned the school, and for whatever reason, it brought up a quote that I remember reading at the school, and it's one of my favorite quotes, and it goes something like this: "Science discovers that which exists. Engineering creates that which never was." And I just thought that was amazing because, yes, you can travel all over this world and do your research and discover things, whether it be oil or elements or minerals, whatever. Uh, that is part of science because it already exists for us to discover. But engineering, it's not like you can go exploring and then just happen across a car or a refrigerator. That it actually took the creative human ingenuity mind to create these things and to make life overall better for all of humankind. And I just think that's phenomenal and crazy. All our phones, our cars, our refrigerators, our computers, everything was all designed from someone who had an idea, and it just took off and made our lives fantastic and amazing. So once again, happy birthday to my mom. I hope you have a wonderful day. And it is about 10 after 1 a.m. here over in Houston. It's about 2:11 over in the East Coast. But I guess I'll go ahead and wrap up this video by saying top of the morning to you. And it's actually been said that there's an appropriate response when someone says top of the morning to you, and that is, and the rest of the day to yourself. So enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your holiday. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Hope you love the fireworks.